Hi everyone, my name's Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to share with you this great card. It's made from the stamp set called The Wilderness Awaits, and I'm particularly fond of this image, a mallard duck. My dad's a big duck hunter. And then here is the stamp set, and you can see there's an elk, a hunting dog, a fox, and a couple of sentiments. This one would be great for a tag. Admired, respected, loved, that's you. Now these cards could be used for many different things. I'm going to just leave this blank. That way my customers can choose how they want to use this card in the future. And I'm also going to switch out the sentiment when I make the card for you. Instead of the duck, I'm going to use the elk image, but I'm also going to keep all of the measurements the same so that you can see how these images can be interchanged. So we'll go ahead and start, and the first piece of paper that I am using is a piece of chocolate chip, and it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11 inches and scored at 5 1/2. And I'm just going to fold it in half along the score line, give it a little press, maybe use my bone folder here just to get that a little bit more pressed down. And then for the inside panel, it's a piece of berry vanilla. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And to adhere it, I'm just going to use some snail, and I'm just going to put one strip across the top of this very vanilla panel. Then I'll go ahead, set it inside the card. Make sure all of my border edges are nice and even. Burnish that down, and the inside is ready to go. Now for the outside panel of the card, I do have a 4-inch square piece of Always Artichoke, and I've run that through the Big Shot machine, and I've used the embossing folder called Boho Chic, and it's one of the new embossing folders, and you can see what a lovely design that leaves. It's rather manly, so I like that look. And we're going to secure that onto the top of our card with some multi-purpose liquid glue. And multi-purpose liquid glue is especially nice to work with when you have an embossed image, because there's all those little crevices that you want your glue to go into. So we will just put this on the very left hand side of the card, making sure these 3 borders are even. And then the next piece of paper that I'm using is one of our new corrugated pieces of paper. This is new to our 2015-16 catalog. It's a 1 by 6 inch strip, and the reason I did it 1 by 6 is that way I can trim it evenly with the edge. So again, I'm going to put this down with some glue, and I'm going to set this maybe a little bit better than 1 inch from the bottom, and set that on there. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'll trim this one edge here so that it's just even. And that looks pretty good. Let that glue set a second. Then the next layer is a 3-inch square of Cajun Craze, and we're going to set that onto our card with dimensionals. So I'll just use 4 dimensionals, and then we can go ahead and put that right here. We want to go for kind of an even edge so that this corner we have about the same amount of space going to the top and going along the bottom. So we can set that there. The next layer is a 2 3/4 inch square of Sahara sand that can be glued directly down onto the Cajun Craze layer. So we'll do that next. And the very last layer is what we'll be stamping on. So I have a piece of scrap, and then I also have a 2 1/2 inch piece square of berry vanilla paper. That's what I'm going to stamp my elk on. So I have the elk on a block E, and I'm going to take the chocolate chip ink pad, and we'll just ink that elk up real nicely, and then we'll set him in here just like this. And there you can see how nicely that turned out. And then we'll go ahead and just put this straight onto our card. I'm going to put it on with some snail. So I'm just going to turn it over, add some snail to the back, and then we can go ahead and set this right there in our square. layered panel. And it's done, except we want to add just a finishing touch with some candy dots. So I keep my extra candy dots in one of these clear mount stamp cases, and I've just labeled it neutrals. And actually, this is kind of fun. I don't know, you can see there's a lot of black lines on this. That's because when I want to color all my candy dots the same color, I can take my black Sharpie marker and just go around them and color them. So I don't know if I want to use these colors. There's quite a few different browns here, and I think any of these browns would work. So I'm just going to take my paper piercing tool, and I'll just grab a couple of these candy dots, and we'll just place those right down here. I think 2 candy dots will be just the ticket to making this look perfect. There we go. So this is the card I have just completed for you. This over here is the card I started with. So I'll set them down so you can get a good look. Thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share today. I truly appreciate you. If you don't currently have a demonstrator and would like to get started using Stampin' Up! Products, be sure to head on over to my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com and check out more videos and tutorials. And have a great day. I truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.